A bus driver worked the same route for 30 years. Downtown to suburbs, same stops, same passengers. When he died, his apartment wall was covered with a massive map tracking every passenger's routine for 3 decades. What the patterns revealed about urban inequality and systemic poverty would force city planners to completely redesign infrastructure. Route 47, downtown to northern suburbs. For 30 years, James Wilson drove same bus. 5:30 a.m. start, same stops. Same faces boarding, at same times, same patterns. He knew his passengers like family. James had been an urban planning student in 1992. Couldn't afford to finish degree. Became bus driver at 23. Planned to go back to school. Never did. But never stopped thinking like urban planner. In his apartment, wall covered with 8-foot map of city pins everywhere. Red, blue, green, yellow. Strings connecting pins, notes, times, names, 30 years of data. Every passenger James remembered. Where they boarded, where they exited, what time, how often. He'd been conducting unintentional longitudinal study of urban mobility patterns. When James died in 2023, landlord found the map, called City Planning Department, thinking it might be useful. Urban planners arrived, expecting maybe some transit notes, found instead 30 years of comprehensive data on how working-class people actually move through city. Data was staggering. James had documented 4,500 regular passengers over 30 years, tracked their patterns, noted when they changed jobs, different stops, when they lost jobs, stopped appearing, when they aged, slower boarding, when they became homeless, asking to stay on bus longer. Every human story was in his pins and strings. But patterns revealed systemic failures. James showed that current bus routes were designed for downtown workers going to suburbs. Nobody served reverse commute, suburban service workers going to wealthy neighborhoods. These workers transferred 3 to 4 times, 2-hour commutes for 8-mile trips. No early buses meant missing shifts, lost jobs, poverty trap. James had documented solution, 12 new routes he'd designed over 30 years of observation, where people actually needed to go. When they needed to go there, his routes cut average commute time 67% for service workers. Cost of implementing $23 million. Economic benefit, $340 million annually in retained employment. Urban planners were humiliated. Bus driver had solved problem they'd ignored. His observation-based methodology was superior to their data models. He'd watched real people for 30 years while they looked at statistics. But James's map revealed more disturbing patterns. Systematic redlining, visible in transit access. Neighborhoods deliberately isolated by lack of service. Transit deserts that trapped residents in poverty. Infrastructure designed to serve wealthy suburbs while ignoring poor neighborhoods. James had documented exact costs of inequality. He calculated total hours working-class passengers spent on inefficient transit over 30 years. 847 million person hours wasted. At minimum wage, $12 billion in lost productivity. All preventable with better routes. City Council voted to implement James's 12 routes, announced as Wilson routes in his honor. Within 2 years, unemployment in affected neighborhoods dropped 34%. Residents accessed better-paying jobs in suburbs. Economic mobility improved measurably. James's methodology became standard driver-based urban planning. Transit systems now consult drivers when designing routes. Drivers submit observation reports. Passengers' actual needs guide planning instead of political considerations. 45 cities implemented Wilson routes based on driver observations. Economic impact across all cities, $8.9 billion annually in improved employment access. James's insight that urban planning fails when planners don't observe real people revolutionize field. On Route 47, every bus has plaque. James Wilson drove this route 30 years. Knew every passenger. Documented every pattern. Solved problems city planners ignored. His map is now an urban planning museum. His routes serve 340,000 people daily. Drivers see what planners miss. Listen to them.